another episode of Midtown Spotlight. I'm Natalie Graham, and on today's show, we have Aram from Mayrik, which is an amazing Armenian restaurant and experience right here in the heart of Midtown Toronto. This restaurant is amazing and has a beautiful story as it pays homage to a mother's kitchen while bringing in a new elevated vibe to the cuisine. The word Mayrik actually translates into mother, which is just beautiful. The restaurant has a swanky, cool vibe right in the heart of Midtown Toronto, which helps highlight the amazing globalization of Toronto as a food city, which I cannot agree with more. I 100% agree with that statement. And Aram here is the mastermind behind the restaurant, and I'm so excited to share his story and have him on for a little bit today. So welcome, Aram. How are you doing today?
Natalie, not bad, not bad. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. We were talking about the sun's finally out, which is nice this time of year. So it's a great day.
I want to take a moment to obviously thank you for having me on your platform.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm happy to have you on here. And I'll get you to kick us off by telling us about Mayrik and how it came to life.
Of course. Mayrik is the most endearing way to say mother in Armenian. So it's a celebration of mom and the kitchen I come from. And highlighting a fusion of Armenian, Mediterranean, and Middle Eastern culture in a kind of tapas-style elevated dining format. We kind of carefully curated the menu, and so we source all our red meats from the Mennonites. We deal directly with farmers out in Kitchener. The fish is sustainably farmed in the Mediterranean Sea, blown over, and the chickens from the Voltigeur, small area in Quebec, family-owned free-range chicken farms. Essentially, how it came to be, it was how to get, my mom's cooking and our culture to the masses, to neighborhoods like Leaside as a gateway to the cuisine. And 7 years later, we're here, going strong, and just continuing looking to grow further.
Yeah, absolutely. You said 7 years?
7 years, correct.
Wow. Okay, so you survived the bumps of COVID.
Yes. The COVID presented its challenges, of course, but the spirit of entrepreneurship. You got to keep pivoting and figuring out new ways of surviving and staying in the game.
Absolutely. I can definitely relate to that. And I mentioned in your intro that you serve Armenian food. Now, for those out there that maybe haven't tried it or they don't know what those flavors kind of are, how would you best describe the
Absolutely.
type of
So Armenia geographically is located in the Balkans, which is Eastern Europe, kind of Asia Minor. Now, what's interesting with our people, we were kind of, the Ottoman Empire had a big influence back in the early 1900s. So a lot of our ancestors are from that geographic region of the Ottoman Empire. Now, a lot of people, unfortunately, with the atrocities of the Armenian genocide, a lot of our people had to flee to neighboring areas at the time, which was still covered under the Ottoman Empire. When the maps got redrawn, these individuals found themselves in the likes of Syria, Iraq, Lebanon, Cyprus, Greece, you name it. So, with that being said, the cuisine is very regional. And a lot of different countries, present countries, eat more or less the same food, plus minus ingredients. That's kind of what the cuisine is. So heavy Middle Eastern influences.
Yeah, that's very cool. I love hearing about the background of how these dishes come to be. I always wonder when I'm in a restaurant, and you get these pops of flavor, which is exactly, I was looking on your Instagram and people say that with your dishes, you get these like really bold pops of flavor. It's like, how did someone know how to create this? How did someone know that this was going to taste so amazing? So yeah, like how do you create your dishes? How do you know that they're going to turn out so well? Are they from recipe or from heart? How do you do it?
Of course. So the baseline are the recipes that the foundation of it are the recipes what I grew up with at home. This is a lot of the flavors come from the kitchen I grew up in, my mom's cooking. Now the vision was as as I mentioned a few minutes ago, taking acting as a gateway and bringing mom's cooking to the masses of different pockets of Toronto. How do we elevate it? So that's where I started collaborating with different chefs and to create that kind of culinary layer of adding that elevation to it. So again, with the Middle Eastern cooking, a lot of fusion, a lot of different spices from different regions and whatnot just brought together.
Amazing. Okay, so what's your most popular dish at the restaurant? Is there one or two where most people beeline for it?
Of course. So a lot of our skewers are, flavor marinated skewers, kebabs, very popular. The Ontario lamb chops, the Mennonite lamb chops that I mentioned, those are a big hit as well. And the one thing we do extremely well here is the grilled fish, the sea bass.
Mm. That's delicious. Yeah, I know that sea bass is also really hard. Well, it's hard for me to make at home, so it's delicious to have out at a restaurant,
Yeah,
especially because you do it so nicely. And the skewers, that's definitely what I tried when I came in. Those were so good. I wish I had them right now in
we can
front
make
of
that happen.
me. Yeah. Now, okay, so why Leaside? What made you pick this location for the restaurant?
So Leaside just presented a demographic that was open to trying new cultures and new flavors and new regions. So we thought it would be a good place to start. And it also represents family. So a lot of young families in the neighborhood, and that's what we are. That's what we like to. That's what we've created here, and that's what we like to. That's what we would like to serve to.
Yeah. Oh, that's great. Absolutely. And it's nice that, we have this option available right in the heart of Midtown. We don't need to go all the way downtown for it, which is great.
Of course, of course. Again, the food scene has really developed in Toronto, and it's
Yeah.
come a long way from when we were younger. When we were going out to eat, and it's become a very vibrant city from a culinary standpoint. And I think being able to offer, you know, flavors from pockets of the city, immigrant populated, and bringing those flavors into Midtown, into the core of the city, was one of our courses and one of the reasons we wanted to come venture out more into the city for the restaurant.
Yeah, absolutely. And okay, so I've got to ask, I know like a lot of these dishes, like if someone comes into the restaurant and they order it, is it something that you're able to make on the spot, or is there a lot of preparation that goes into this, maybe a couple days before or the night before? How do you make some of these more complex
Of
dishes that
course,
you
so
order?
the stuff that are that require marinades overnight, a few days and whatnot. There's a lot of prep that goes in to the preparation. Our salads are all made a la minute. Um, there's certain stuff, the fish and whatnot. We pride ourselves in high quality and freshness. So a lot of stuff, as much as we try to keep things as fresh as possible, of course, with quality being our number one standard, our top priority. But yes, a lot of the stuff that do require a lot of preparation, there's work that goes in uh, with overnight marinades and advanced.
Yeah, absolutely. I can imagine. It doesn't seem like the type of place that you could just get that flavor in there in a matter of 20 minutes.
Yeah,
It's an art. It really is a form of art what you're doing. So, you know, let's rewind to 7 years ago. How did you know that this was a skill that you had? Like, is it something you've always been passionate about, or how did you get into this field of work?
yeah. So hospitality is definitely what I've been passionate about, and essentially, I've always compared a restaurant's dining room to an extension of the dining room at home. And how do we how can we offer the same hospitality, the same flavors, and the same warmth of a mom's and a mother's kitchen and bring and replicate that into a commercial environment, being the restaurant. So again, taking care of guests and making sure guests are enjoying themselves, having a good time, being a part of that is where the passion is. And of course, also the flavors and sharing the flavors and the culture with non-ethnic Armenians and Middle Easterns. That was one of our goals. Yes.
Yeah, for sure. No, that's so cool. I love hearing that. And as a small business owner, what's something that you've learned along the way that maybe you wish you knew this whole time and you carry it with you? Is there anything that you've learned along the way?
So that's actually a tough one. I mean,
I know.
again, a restaurateur, quote unquote, is not really. It comes with a long list, and I think the core of it is the entrepreneurial spirit. And I think once you try to, you can do a lot, and that with the entrepreneurial spirit is the baseline required to be able to persevere and adapt. And I think the grit and perseverance are essential tools required to operate a business in today's society.
Yeah, absolutely. And you need it. It's essential.
Of course.
Yeah, for sure. I know it's a tough question. I've been asked it before and it got my wheels turning, which is why I really like to ask it.
No, of course. I'm sure there's a longer list of things required. I think you learn along the way. I think enjoying the journey while you're pivoting and adapting. I think the journey is the most important aspect. It's not really a destination or an end goal that we're chasing. It's more so, this is the vision was we like to offer Armenian Middle Eastern food to the rest of the city, and how do we do that, and how do we stay constant and current, and that's kind of the perseverance plays in at every aspect of that growth, right?
Yeah, for sure. All right, so what's coming up next for your restaurant that you want the community to know about? What can they look forward to with your restaurant?
Yes, I mean, we recently relaunched our new lunch menu, as well as a focus on a Middle Eastern brunch on the weekends. Those are the two ways that we've kind of expanded our offering. Family meals in our takeout menu, and look out for a few pop-ups more in the more core of the city, collaborating with a few kind of ghost kitchen concepts where we'd be able to kind of serve more of the community from different areas geographically in the city.
That sounds amazing. Okay, so lots coming up. You'll be really busy.
Yeah, especially with the holiday season upon us. It's a busy time for us, and going into the New Year's when we'll be focusing on the pop-ups and expanding the brand.
Yeah, absolutely. And I didn't know about the brunch, so I'm definitely going to come and check out the brunch. That sounds amazing. Is there anything different in particular that is different from a Middle Eastern brunch from like your classic, I guess, Canadian brunch?
I mean, so of course, eggs are a basic component of breakfast, in various cultures and cuisines. So what we've done with our brunch here is provide and offer a Middle Eastern spin on classic Canadian stuff. Canadian. How do we do that? We've spun our the classic eggs Benedict into a sujuk Benedict. Sujuk is an Armenian cured sausage. So we kind of, again, how to add a Middle Eastern touch to the Canadian dishes that we know. And that's what we've done with our brunch menu, as well as offer regional delicacies, Armenian and Middle Eastern delicacies to the non-Armenian population.
Oh, that sounds amazing. Now I feel like that dish right now. That sounds so good. I'm not the best cook myself, so I rely on restaurants like you to feed me. So I'm
Of
excited. I got to check out your brunch now and all of your dishes.
Yes,
So time's really flown by today. I have one more question for you. It's an easier one. So, if anyone watching or listening wants to connect with you and find your amazing food, where can they find you in your restaurant?
of course. So we're at 1580 Bayview Avenue, in the heart of Leaside, Midtown Toronto. Our Instagram is MayrikTO. That's MayrikTO. And of course, the website is myrik.ca. Um, all our information and our socials are on there.
Okay, awesome. Well, thank you so much for talking about your passion and your amazing restaurant. Like I said, now I'm hungry. It's lunchtime, so maybe I'll just head up there. If
No
not,
problem.
you'll be seeing us really soon. And for our listeners, once again, I have been chatting with Aram here from Mayrik Restaurant. Did I pronounce it right this time?
Yes, you got it right.
Okay, awesome. Wanted to make sure I got it right. Right in the heart of Midtown Toronto. And I'm Natalie Graham, your Keller Williams Leaside Realtor and Park Bench local leader. Stay tuned for our next episode of Midtown Spotlight to hear more stories from our leaders and local businesses in the community. All right, see you soon. And thanks so much, Aram.
Thanks for having me, Natalie.